this statement itself may be somewhat controversial to some individuals, but I want to preface it by simply stating that in no way, shape, or form am I passing judgment. I'm not thinking myself better than anyone else. I don't have any issues with the choices that people make for themselves in life. And I think we're all able to freely opine on issues, whether they be sort of lackadaisical topics of conversation like how's the weather, or to more serious hot button topics. And I'm not talking about something like religion or politics or any of that nonsense. I am not a homophobic person. I've known many gay folks, male and female, over the course of my lifetime. I have no issues with their lifestyle choices. Not at all, not at all. But over the last few decades, things have changed considerably, I guess. In the mainstream, it seems that ever since Ellen DeGeneres, in her befuddled sitcom of the 90s, came out by announcing her homosexuality over the airport intercom, there's been a steady and rapid increase in those type of characters on television. Again, I have no issue with that. That's great. It's like showing people of color in television or people of different socioeconomic, stations in life. It's just showcasing different people. But along with that, in a very, very short time period, less than 30 years, we have seen a rapid increase to the point where you can't watch a TV or a show anymore without there being some type of gay character, which is fine, but it seems, again, as time passes, the number of gays portrayed in the mainstream media and in TV and entertainment, whatever, seems to have increased exponentially, that they literally outnumber heterosexuals. I sort of shake my head at that because, as you and I all know, that you can't sort of criticize people for having gay pride or slut walks or anything of that ilk because, well, the cancel culture, which is, let's call it for what the fuck it is, it's straight up fascism. Yeah, if you try to celebrate your heterosexuality, well then you get vilified for that. God forbid you would want to get together and celebrate with other Caucasians, people of white descendants, especially in this day and age. Holy fuck, man. You'd probably have Antifa show up or Black Lives Matter show up at your fucking family barbecue. But I digress. I, again, am not disparaging people that have different lifestyle choices. But I will give a few examples of how fucking screwed this is, because in the early 2000s, the noughties, the dude's name was Benjamin Levine, and he was part of the Ontario province's Ministry of Education. He actually wrote the sex curriculum that replaced the sexual education curriculum that we kind of grew up with through the 80s and 90s and what have you. But yeah, he was in the Wynne government. Kathleen Wynne, herself an admitted lesbian who had a heterosexual relationship, bore some children, and then in the midst of being a person on the move, started a relationship with a college female friend, moved that female friend into her house, moved her husband down to the basement so he could continue his relationship with the girls, and onward with life. It's been recorded, matter-of-factly, that her two children were unfortunately deeply affected by these series of events when they were growing up. It had an impact, unfortunately. So anyways, back to Benny. Benny was convicted of soliciting online some little children to have sex with. Yeah, he was set up in a sting operation, and subsequently they found lots of porn and bad fucking juju on his computer and his lifestyle. He was a creep who ended up going to fucking jail for a couple of years. He was let out and subsequently continued his online ways. He's even wrote a few books championing that lifestyle and those lifestyle choices. Now, back to his sexual ed curriculum. It is kind of fucking wild because they're trying to lower the age of consent. They're trying to obfuscate children's sexual identities, and you can look that up in the mainstream media about hormone therapy and little children, not sure what they want to be in life anymore. But let's just fucking not even go down that rabbit hole in this little video rant, my friends. Offering things like oral sex or anal sex instead of intercourse to preteen children as an alternative. It was rather disturbing. And then there was some kind of weird pushback from parents, and just the way things are obfuscated and the direction that the media spins things and how life goes, and things come up. Everything changes literally, on the spin every day. Something that's mainstream and making lots of noise one day is sadly forgotten the next. But I digress. I'm going off on a tangent here. So yeah, Benjamin Levine was part of that government, part of that sexual ed curriculum. It's like, well, surely it's not that bad. People are evolving, people are progressive, it's society, blah, blah, blah. Sure, once upon a time we used to evolve on a much, much slower scale, but for the last few decades, things have really been fucking ramped up. And when you consider NAMBLA, you're going, what the fuck is a NAMBLA? NAMBLA is an organization that's been around since the 70s, I do believe, in the United States, and they're a lobbying group. There's a lot of money that's goes to government entities from NAMBLA, and NAMBLA is just an acronym for North American Man-Boy Love Association. They've got neat little fucking logos and stuff. They've been associated with the Gate of Pizza. Yeah, that's a fucking wild rabbit hole, eh, my friends? You look at how they can, quote-unquote, use their cancel culture to try to take away Dr. Seuss and Pepe Le Pew, but pornography and human trafficking, like literally the proliferation of fucking pornography and how many people get caught with child porn is fucking mind-numbing. Now, you look at certain religious groups. Some of them seem to turn a blind eye, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? They're a really rich bunch of motherfuckers. Got their own little city, so to speak. Heart of Europe over there. All nestled in their little kingdom. Doing their thing. Yeah. So, again, we are all able to freely choose what we like to do. Or should we be able to, right? That just makes common sense. And at the end of the day, I do believe that there are, heterosexual folks, straight men and straight women. I do believe that there are gay men and gay women. And I do believe there are folks that are sort of both flavors. They're bisexual. And to my fucking small monkey mind here, looking back at 54 fucking years of experience, that just kind of seems to make sense to who our species is and how we've gone along over the ages. But I look at the pick a sex generation, or I sexually identify as this generation, or little children who fucking are just being manipulated by mainstream media, by those with an agenda. It's disheartening, to say the least. I share this with you because I just had a sudden thought, and I wanted to opine about it and turn it into a video presentation. Again, there is no hate coming from my words or my heart. I give love freely. I hope the gift of the day smiles kindly upon you all. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I'll see you next video.